Hey everyone, this is Randy from BibleBuyingGuide.com. Today I'm taking a look at the Holman Handcrafted Collection single column personal size Bible in the NASB. This is the 2020 edition of the NASB. And they sent me this in exchange for an honest review. So this is a personal size, and I would consider it a personal size large print. Personal size can mean a lot of things, and this is considered the standard personal size large print design. It includes a goatskin leather with a good grain. I like that grain. Raised hubs, gold stamping on the spine, perimeter stitching with a leather liner, and it is edge lined with a gilt line around the perimeter. 3 ribbons. These are double-sided satin in red, gold, and black. I like those. They look good. And the design of this reminds me of the ESV Heritage. Reminds me a lot of this. It's made in China. The paper is 33 GSM. There's the information about the bindings that are available. And as you can see throughout, it does have red highlights. So here is our first page. The edge-lined tab is a little stiff. So it wants to close in the beginning of Genesis. Around in the middle of around the middle, it'll start staying open. No trouble. So it's not too bad. So here is the design. Single column, paragraph edition, around 14 words per line, which normally would be too much for me, but it has a large inner margin, and what that does is keeps the line from going into the gutter, and that helps keep the line easier to see. 11-point font, which looks really good, is a black letter text, but it does have red highlights. So we have red for the book names, for the chapter numbers, for the verse numbers, in the footer. So the verses are easy to find. The footnotes are the reduced set of footnotes. So this does not include the full set. But it is line matched, and there's enough space between the lines to make it easy to track the line when you're reading. I don't get lost. So when I get to the end of the line, it's easy enough to find the beginning of the line. So the extra margin space helps. It is sewn. And as you can see, it does have art gilt edges. The paper could be a little bit more opaque. It is fairly smooth. It doesn't really feel like the premium paper that you see in some of the other editions. Some may like this better though. I did have to separate all the pages, so they were stuck. And there's a little bit of a ridge on the edge of the page, and I think that comes from the cutting of the page. But it looks really good. I don't see any issues with it. Poetry looks excellent. It does have a little more show through than I'd like, but it's not terrible. But there's poetry. It looks pretty. Then in the New Testament, we see that it is a black letter edition. The print quality is consistent. I do like that a lot. So across the top of the page, we have the book name and chapter number in the outer margin, and then the page number in the inner margin. I do find the page number in the inner margin would be a little difficult to find when you're trying to find a page number quick. This does look good. I like the look of this a lot. My cat is trying to get up here on my table. Then Old Testament quotes are in all caps, and they stand out so you can see that easily. I keep my cat from making noise. So this reminds me a lot of the ESV Heritage Edition, which was one of my favorite designs. I would put this very close to that. I would like to see a little bit difference in letters, personal letters. I would like to see those stand out a little bit more. And I would like to see more lists. It does have lists in a few places, but not enough places, in my opinion. But that's a that's an NASB 2020 edition design. That's not really this specific design. See, the page size is 5.3 by 8.5. The overall size, which is the size that I use, because if you're buying a case to put this in, that's what you need, is 6 by 9.25 by 2.125, like 2 1/8. It weighs 2 pounds and 7 ounces. Paper isn't too hard to turn. It can be a little difficult where the edge has that little bit of a bend. It's not terrible. It wouldn't keep me from buying it or using it. But it's not the easiest to turn because of that edge. But it's not terrible. So in the back we have the topical index, the NASB topical index, which I like a lot. It's good for study. It's a good tool, and it does have some theology in here, so just keep that in mind. Some definitions from the original languages. This is good for study. Always use it as a tool and just do your own study, allowing Scripture to interpret Scripture. And then there's several pages in the back for notes. Not a lot. 8 pages that you can use for your own notes. This is the same Bible paper as the rest of the Bible. And then we have the Holman maps on the thicker end sheets. These are matte, and I like the colors of these. It does not include an index, but most of the names are large enough to see. So if you have an idea of where you're looking, you'll be able to find what you're looking for. These do look good. So it has some topography. I like that. I would like to see an index though. So that is my quick look at the Holman Handcrafted Collection. Single column personal size. I'll try to do a comparison video. That'll come later though. And I'll compare it to the ESV Heritage and a few others. But this is a good looking Bible. I wouldn't mind if the paper was a little more opaque. But other than that, that is a good Bible. I like this a lot. The little edge of the turn at the edge of the page is a little bit annoying, but not terrible. But, you know, I'm splitting hairs. But that is a good little Bible. So Holman did provide this in exchange for an honest review. I'll leave some links in the notes so that you can make a purchase if you're interested. Those are affiliate links, and that does help me run BibleBuyingGuide.com. And also, I'll leave a link to the written review where I always go into more detail. And thanks for watching.